Psalm 55. Give ear to my prayer, O God. Hide not thyself from my supplication. Attend unto me, and hear me. I mourn in my complaint, and make noise, because of the voice of the enemy, because of the oppression of the wicked. For they cast iniquity upon me, and in wrath they hate me. My heart is sore, pained within me, and the terrors of death are fallen upon me. Fearfulness and trembling are come upon me, and horror hath overwhelmed me. And I said, Oh, that I had wings like a dove, then would I fly away and be at rest. Lo, then would I wander far off and remain in the wilderness. I would hasten my escape from the windy storm and tempest. Destroy, O Lord, and divide their tongues, for I have seen violence and strife in the city. Day and night they go about it upon the walls thereof. Mischief also and sorrow are in the midst of. Wickedness is in the midst thereof. Deceit and guile depart not from her streets. For it was not an enemy that had reproached me, then I could have bore it. Neither was it he that hated me, that did magnify himself against me, then I would have hid myself from him. But it was thou, a man mine equal, my guide and mine acquaintance. We took sweet counsel together, and walked unto the house of God in company. Let death seize upon them, and let them go down quick into hell, for wickedness is in their dwellings and among them. As for me, I will call upon God, and the Lord shall save me. Evening and morning, and at noon will I pray and cry aloud, and he shall hear my voice. He hath delivered my soul in peace from the battle that was against me, for there were many with me. God shall hear, and afflict them, even he that abideth in old. Because they have no changes, therefore they fear not God. He hath put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him. He hath broken his covenant. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. Cast thy burden upon the Lord, and he shall sustain thee. He shall never suffer the righteous to be moved. But thou, O God, shalt bring them down into the pit of destruction. Bloody and deceitful men shall not live out half their days, but I will trust in thee. David was hurting because he was betrayed by people he trusted. And he was betrayed so bad that it led to battle and violence. And a lot of people like to read that passage for themselves when they're feeling hurt or angry by somebody that they once loved. But the trouble is that David is in such intense pain that he's hoping for the destruction of his enemies. And I don't think that for most people you should hope for the destruction of your ex-friends or friends that you've felt betrayed by. But oftentimes you might want to feel that way. I hope that if you ever feel betrayed by any of your friends, that you would come to the Lord and pray for them. Recently I've felt a little bit betrayed by some people that I had loved. And what began with concern on their part led to unnecessary anger. And I've thought about it a lot. What happened was I asked my girlfriend Kayla to marry me, and she said yes. And I noticed that beforehand and soon after, some of my friends were, it seemed like they were avoiding me, so I asked some of them about it. I asked one of them in particular, and he had told me that they were all upset because I had been ignoring their concerns about the speed at which I was moving in my relationship. My friend told me that whenever they voiced their concerns that I was moving too quickly, that I had just said, I'm happy and I'm not afraid of this failing because I know what I'm getting myself into. And he said that's manipulation, that I'm making my friends feel bad by saying things like that. And he had also said that I've changed. Part of that's true. I've been struggling with a couple things. You might have noticed that I haven't posted as frequently, I should say. And that's because I've been struggling with a couple things that made me feel like I should take a break from doing this kind of thing. Because normally it seems like whenever I'm about to make a video, I sit down and God tells me exactly what to make, and I do that. But it seems like lately that's been harder to communicate. And so I assume that I've done some sort of wrong, and I'm working to figure that out. But today I felt guided to talk about relationships and how sometimes a friendship might fall apart or go through a hard time. And while it's easy to be bitter towards your friends, you should try to make it work up until the point that you can't. And I know that my friends had concerns about my relationship because to some degree they care about me and they just want what's best for me. And it's obviously a more complicated issue than I'm making it out to be. And I don't want to make it sound like these are bad people, because my friends are good people. However, some of them just recently did something that hurt my feelings and I felt betrayed by it. But I also wanted to announce that I am engaged to Kayla, and I'm very happy with it. It's going to work out, because it's the first relationship I'd ever had that I truly felt was Spirit-led, and that guided me to God in a way that was healthy. And I love her very much. But right now I'm feeling a lot like David, where part of me doesn't know where to turn for a good friend, even though I still have good friends. But these people that hurt my feelings are people that I've known for a very long time and trusted for a very long time. Because Kayla didn't get to know them the way I know them, she doesn't trust them the same way I trust them. She doesn't quite understand my relationship with them. So to her, it just looks like these people are not being good friends. Like they're not supporting me, and that's not completely the case. I'm not sure how exactly this can relate to you. I partly think that I'm just ranting about my own life, but I read that passage from Psalms, and I was hoping that somebody out there would benefit from hearing it and maybe understand where I'm coming from, and it might help them somehow. But ultimately, I just make the videos that the Holy Spirit leads me to make, and this was one of them. That's all I've got for you. Have a good rest of your day.